Hello students. Today I am going to discuss with you the uh, genetic code and the tRNA part of molecular basis of DNA chapter. Okay. So as we have done with the transcription, so it will be easier for us to now start with the genetic code. So what exactly genetic code is? Genetic codes are actually the uh, sequences of nucleotide molecules, okay, which have the coded information for protein synthesis, okay, that helps in the translation protein synthesis. That is the genetic code. Okay, so this genetic code, from this, when we are studying about this genetic code, but we are using the term codon. Okay, so codon basically it is sequences of nucleotide molecules. Basically we indicate them by nitrogenous bases, consecutive nitrogenous bases. So one codon, that means 3 consecutive nitrogenous bases, okay, they form one codon. For example, suppose 3 here consecutive nucleotide molecules are there. Okay, so sugar, phosphate group, nitrogenous base, sugar, phosphate group, nitrogenous base. Okay, so like this, the sequences are here. Structure RNA. Now here you see the nitrogenous bases there. So 3 consecutive nitrogenous bases we are considering as one codon. One codon. Okay, suppose it is nitrogenous base A, this is U, this is G. So the codon I will write as AUG. This is how it can be any nitrogenous base. Okay, so 3 consecutive nitrogenous bases, they form one codon, and these codons, they code for one particular amino acid. That is actually coding for the protein synthesis. Okay, so this is the genetic code or the codon. Now altogether, if we see that there are how many amino acids we know till now? 20 amino acids known to us. Okay, and all these 20 amino acids are coded by total 61 codons. Okay, if we look at the combination of the nitrogenous bases, we will see total 64 codons. Okay, but out of 64, 61 they code for amino acid. I am talking about these codons. Out of 61 they code for 20 amino acids. Okay, and remaining 3 codons which are there, I didn't mention here. These 3 codons, they don't code for any amino acid. Okay, rest all 61 codons, they code for 20 amino acids, 20 different amino acids. Okay, and the 3 codons, they don't code for any amino acid, so these are known as stop codons. Stop codons. Okay, it means that these codons, which are these codons actually? One is UAA, one is UAG, another is UGA. Okay, these are the codons that they don't code for any amino acid, so they don't have any role to play in the protein synthesis. Okay, so these are the codons which are present in the mRNA, and once this any one of the codon comes, okay, while forming the protein synthesis, the process will stop. The protein synthesis process will stop. That's why they are known as the stop codons. Okay, rest all 61 codons, they code for all these different 20 amino acids. Okay, now if we look into the features of genetic code, this is what the codon means, genetic code only. Okay, if you look into the features, so if I go by NCERT points, the first is that the codon is triplet. So we can see here that 3 nitrogenous bases, okay, they form one codon. So this is what the triplet structure. 61 codons code for amino acid, while 3 codons do not code for any amino acid. Okay, so they are the stop codons here. Number 1 point. Number 2 point, some amino acids are coded by mode. Now this is one. two very important feature of genetic code. One is that genetic code is universal. Okay, what does that mean? Suppose look at this AUG. Okay, or for example take any other example like CUC. Okay, it's a codon CUC. Okay, this CUC codon, it codes for amino acid leucine. Okay, so wherever we see this codon is present, all the time this codon will code for only leucine, no any other amino acid. Okay, so one specific codon codes for one specific amino acid. That's it. Only one specific amino acid is coded by one specific codon. This is what that property, the codon is universal in nature. Okay, AUG codes for amino acid methionine. Okay, so all the time AUG will code for methionine only, no any other amino acid. Okay, this is what that universal, they are very specific in nature and universal. Okay. Second point is that genetic code is degenerate. Genetic code is degenerate, means the property of degeneracy is seen in the genetic code. What does that mean? The meaning is that if you understand the last point that I have discussed, universal and specific nature, that one codon codes for a specific amino acid only. Now the degeneracy is opposite. Opposite means one particular amino acid can be coded by more than one codon. I am repeating it. One particular amino acid can be coded by more than one codon. Now look at this leucine one, for example. Okay. See, CUC is the codon that codes for only leucine, no any other amino acid. But leucine can be coded by other codons also apart from CUC. Clear? Like for example, leucine is also coded by CUU. Okay, leucine is also coded by CUA. It is also coded by CUG. Understood? So leucine can be coded by more than one codon. This is what the degeneracy property. So you see, CUC always codes for leucine, no any other amino acid. CUU always codes for leucine and no any other amino acid. CUG also only codes leucine, no any other amino acid. So they are very specific to particular amino acid. But this amino acid, now if I look, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 and some more also codons code. They are coding leucine. So leucine is coded by more than one codons. Like this, there are many other amino acids, okay, which are coded by more than one codons. This is what the feature degeneracy. Okay, so I hope you understand this. Okay, so in a very simple way, one codon that code for an amino acid, but this amino acid can be coded by, this is suppose codon A, can be coded by B also, C also, D also, E also. So this is how the properties are. Okay. Next is, there is no punctuation used while writing the codon. The codon is read in mRNA. Okay, in a linear fashion, there is no punctuation used. So the codons, for example, if I write a sequence of codons in the mRNA, like A, U, G, U, A, C, C, U, G, G, U, A, any. So when I am writing this sequence, I am not using any punctuation in between. This is one property. AUG that I have mentioned earlier, AUG is a codon known as initiation codon. Initiation codon. Okay. So this codes for, this starts the process of protein synthesis. by coding methionine. Okay, so it's also code for methionine. So these are the two important property of AUG. AUG is the initiation codon and it codes amino acid known as methionine. Okay. So these are the few features, and stop codons also I have discussed with three stop codons: UAA, UAG and UGA. These are the stop codons. Okay, these are the all different properties of the genetic code. I hope you understood this. Now the next topic I am going to discuss today is the mutation. Then I will move to the tRNA. Okay, just a minute. Okay. Mutation is any change in the DNA or at chromosomal base. That is the mutation. Now here we are specifically talking about the mutation, point mutation and frame shift mutation. So frame shift mutation is also a type of point mutation. Okay. So what is the difference then in between this? See, point mutation is, it is the change in a particular nucleotide molecule. Point mutation is talking about the mutation or the change that takes place in a particular nucleotide molecule. Now this particular nucleotide molecule, it can be substituted. Okay, then it can be substituted. So substitution, deletion, addition, all these three kinds of change can be seen. So point mutation, if I look into, I will see substitution, addition can also be seen and deletion can also be seen. Okay, of a particular nucleotide molecule. Okay, that is the point mutation. Okay, if you take a sickle cell anemia for example, it's a point mutation problem. Okay. Now, if you look into the frame shift mutation, then it is addition or deletion. Addition or deletion. Okay, that is the frame shift mutation. And frame shift mutation deals with a base pair change, mutation or changes in a base pair or more than one base pair. So one base pair means two nucleotides. So more than one nucleotide it is dealing with. The change or mutation that takes place, in more than one nucleotide molecule. It may be a base pair or more than one base pairs. Okay. So that is the frame shift mutation. Tay-Sachs disease is an example. Okay. Tay-Sachs disease is an example of frame shift mutation. Point mutation example, you can write here sickle cell anemia, or there are many other, Down syndrome also. Okay, so these are the point. Down syndrome is a chromosomal disorder. Sorry. So this is the point mutation and frame shift mutation. So point mutation in a particular nucleotide molecule change, and frame shift is more than one nucleotide molecule. It may be a more than one base pairs. Okay. Now I am going to the tRNA model. So before understanding the translation mechanism, we have to understand this tRNA structure, which is very, very important. So few basic informations, like tRNA is a type of RNA, transfer RNA. Okay, that is important for translation mechanism, protein synthesis mechanism. Okay, now this tRNA, there are 2D structure, there is 3D structure. 2D structure talks about the secondary structure of tRNA. 3D structure talks about the tertiary structure of tRNA, tertiary foldings, secondary foldings. Okay, so the secondary structure of the tRNA Okay, that was that is that I'll be showing you the structure. Okay, and that if the secondary tRNA structure gets folded and forms a tertiary structure, so 3D dimensional point of view, if I see that tRNA, it will look like a inverted L-shaped structure. Okay, and the 2D structure looks like a clover leaf structure, the twisted clover leaf structure. This clover leaf model, okay, it was proposed in 1964. The clover leaf model, okay, proposed in 1964 by R.W. Hole. R.W. Hole. Okay, and in 1968, because of this, okay, R.W. Hole, then our Dr. Hargobind Khorana, okay, and Nirenberg, scientist Nirenberg, all these three people, they got Nobel Prize, okay, for this discovering of this clover leaf model of tRNA. Okay, so if I look into the structure of the tRNA, 2D structure, secondary structure of tRNA, it's a single strand. In the graph form, I am just showing you. Okay. A loop. So 4 arms there in the tRNA. This is called, this arm, this is 3' end and this is the 5' end. One strand only take a shape like this. Okay, 3' end here, 5' end here. This arm is the amino acid acceptor arm. Amino acid acceptor arm. Okay, where we see the 7 base pairs are here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 base pairs are here, and here we see ACC structure. This is where the amino acid is going to come and bind. Open end. Okay, so 7 base pairs are found here. This is the amino acid acceptor site. Now, this is the DHU arm. Okay, dihydroxyuridine arm. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, this is the now these 3 arms, the loop-like structure you can see. These 3 arms. Okay, so this is DHU, dihydroxyuridine arm. Okay, now this is 4 base pair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 base pair long arm. Okay, now in this arm, what happens? This is the enzyme binding site. This arm is an enzyme binding site. So the enzyme is amino acyl synthetase. Amino acyl synthetase enzyme comes and bind here. That is required for protein synthesis. Okay, amino acyl synthetase enzyme comes and bind here. This is called TC loop or TC arm. Okay, here this is the site. Now this is 5 base pair long, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 base pair long. Okay, and this is the site that goes and binds to the ribosome. So this is ribosome binding site. Okay, this is the extra arm. Extra arm. Okay, that is not for us. Structure is looks like this. Different divisions are there. So this is not required right now. Now this one is the anticodon site. Okay, so this is anticodon arm. This is also, I think it is 5 base pair. Let me just check once. Yeah, anticodon side is also 5 base pair long. Okay, so here anticodons are there depending on the mRNA. It can be, suppose the mRNA strand is here, okay, and here I see the AUG codon is there in the mRNA, then anticodon it will be UAC, understood, and now there will be a bonding in between them, hydrogen bond. So this is how they bind, link up in the ribosome. So this is the anticodon site. So different tRNA have different anticodon site according to the codon. Okay, if it is a different, now if AUG, so according to the anticodon, according to this AUG, anticodon are there. So it depends. Another codon will be there. So according to that, the tRNA will be there, which will be having a specific anticodon site for that codon. Okay, so this is the structure of a cloverleaf model, two-dimensional structure of tRNA, and if this structure is a 3D structure, if you look into of this tRNA, it will be a means inverted L-shaped structure. Understood? This kind of this is a tertiary structure, 3D form. This is 2D structure. Okay, so this is what the structure of tRNA. Fine. So I hope you understood very simple topics. Next class we will be discussing about the translation mechanism, the protein synthesis. Okay, thank you so much.